Hey guys, welcome back to Honey Money SG, and in this channel we are all about building financial knowledge, teach money saving hacks, and also help you lead a fulfilling quality of life. So welcome back to my another Syfe video, and you know I got a lot to talk about. Now this time I'm going to take some drastic changes to my Syfe portfolio. As you may have known from my earlier Syfe portfolio videos, I've talked about my DCA strategy, which was to deposit $500 each to my REIT portfolio and also my Equity100 portfolio every month. Now after 2 months using the platform and also monitoring my returns, I felt that just some of these things don't align to my investment perspective, and that will be the reason that I'll be sharing today why am I changing my Syfe portfolio. Of course, disclaimer again, this is not financial advice, this is just for entertainment purpose, but I'm just sharing what I will be doing. Whether you want to do it or not is up to your own individual responsibility and decision. And if you have not signed up for your Syfe portfolio yet, remember to use my referral code called HoneyMoney. Put it in the promo code box below so that you can get $30,000 of free managed Syfe portfolios within the span of 3 months. So my thoughts about the REITs Plus portfolio is that they really invest in some of the REITs that I don't really like hospitality, some of the more risky REITs, like shopping malls as well, that's really affected by the coronavirus pandemic situation. And it's kind of poor performing for these past few months, right? I mean, if you invested in Syfe around the same timing as me, most likely you will experience the same level of downtrend returns. And I don't like the fact that I could not select the REITs that I wanted to invest in my REITs Plus portfolio because all this is really predetermined. But that's just the way robo-advisors are, right? Because based on your risk and level of expected return, they will tailor-make the portfolio for you, and your job is to be as passive as possible and not minding their business in how they invest. So I guess that's just the way robo-advisors work. And this is quite similar to Core Equity 100. Like there are some ETFs that I don't really like small caps, like China. Those are really a little bit more risky and the returns are not as fantastic as you may expect them to be. And don't get me started on Cash Plus because ultimately the returns is still flat. I mean, I'm not really losing money on this Cash Plus portfolio, but the ironic thing is for 1 year, you have to lock up your funds to gain that 1.5% interest. Just doesn't cut it for me. If you have watched my other credit card videos where I gain like 5% cashback, 6% cashback, 8% cashback, not even within 1 year, just 1 month based on my spending, all this 1.5% return on the Cash Plus or Cash Smart portfolio isn't going to cut it because I'm just wasting time. So there's a lot of opportunity cost involved in putting such monies into this kind of cash management products. So this time I'm going to take a drastic action to change my portfolio. I'm not going to liquidate everything because I still want to account for the results and also help you track what are the movement. But this is what I would do. Whatever I have in REIT Plus, Core Equity 100 and Cash Plus, I will now reduce to a balance of $1,000 in each of this portfolio, right? So I still have 3 Syfe portfolios, $1,000 in REIT Plus, $1,000 in Core Equity 100, and $1,000 in the Cash Plus. And what will I do with the other monies? I will invest in a brand new Syfe Select custom portfolio. Okay, this time I'm not going to take instructions from Syfe anymore. I will determine my own destiny. I'm not going to select the thematic portfolio. I'm just going to go straight into the Syfe custom portfolio and select the ETFs that I really want to invest in. So the 3 ETFs I selected are very simple: CSPX, QQQ, and VWRA. Now CSPX is your S&P 500 index ETF that is domiciled in Ireland and listed in the London Stock Exchange. So it has a lower dividend withholding tax of 15%, and compared to your VOO, which is like 30% dividend withholding tax, CSPX also has a low expense ratio of 0.07%, so that's fairly good. And also the fact that CSPX is an accumulative ETF, that means all the dividends will be reinvested instead of distributed out. Now for QQQ, I'm sure you all know what it is. It is the top 100 listed tech firms in the Nasdaq index and excluding all the financial companies. So for QQQ, I really want to concentrate on those big tech firms like your FANG companies and also some of the leading technology companies in the world that I may not have captured in my own investment portfolio. So the expense ratio of QQQ is 0.2%, which is not too shabby as well. And then the last one is the All World Index ETF, which is VWRA. Now I know this VWRA has been really popular, especially in the Singapore FI subreddit, right? So this ETF will capture all the world indexes, including your emerging markets, your small caps, your leading tech firms, and also your developed countries index. So you can say like it's the most diversified ETF, but at the same time, because of the diversification, the risks are rather low and the returns will be rather low as well. So it is more of a lower risk play compared to what I have with the S&P 500 and the QQQ. And my plan is to DCA $500 into this Syfe custom portfolio every month. So now let me take you to my Syfe portfolio portal and show you how can I do it with my Syfe Select custom theme. Let's go. Alright guys, here I am now at my Syfe homepage, as you all may have seen a few times. Let's go to add new. Okay, I'm going to go to the select custom portfolio. Okay, and I will select the ETFs that I want. This time round, Syfe is not going to control what I want to invest in, so I will just search for what I want. So where do I find the search button? Here it is. I'll search for VWRA. Here it is, the Vanguard's All World UCITS ETF. Okay, I'll add it here to my cart. And then I want to search for CSPX. Okay, CSPX is the S&P 500 ETF that tracks the S&P 500. So add it to my cart. Okay, and then the last one I want to have is of course QQQ, which is the Nasdaq 100 Invesco ETF that invests in the top tech companies. Okay, so I've added these three ETFs in the cart, so I can go and view my portfolio. Right, so I have three of them in equal distribution, other than QQQ is additional 0.01%, but that's fine. So equal portions of this portfolio, I only need three of them and they will sum up to 100%. So this is my live example of how you should do it. So whether you want to add more or you want to remove, that's up to you. And then they will show you like the class, 100% equities. Companies wise, Apple Inc. is a large percentage because Apple is the biggest market cap in this world, right? So ultimately, Apple will have a huge percentage of this portfolio, followed by Microsoft, Amazon, Alphabet, and Tesla. I'm surprised Facebook is not in here, possibly because they've fallen so much. Okay, history-wise, you can look at the past return. For the past 1 year, right? This is how your big tech and your index ETFs have been performing. So rather a steady growth, other than after August 31st, right? It has the massive drop over September because of the market-wide correction. And overall risk rating confirmed very high risk because all these are equities. It's not bonds, no fixed incomes. And let's confirm my portfolio. Okay, it's a high risk portfolio. Call it Dream Basket. I don't really like the word dream, okay? I'm going to call it something else. Let's call it Diamond Hands Portfolio. Okay, do you like the name Diamond Hands? I'm not going to lump sum this yet until I've finished all my other kind of useless portfolios like REIT Plus and Equity100, and all this I will just keep it at 0 first. I'll set up this portfolio first, and then once I have finished selling, then I'll start adding funds into my Diamond Hands portfolio. And that's it. My portfolio is live. All I need to do is fund it via PayNow, Fast or Gyro, and then you'll see 1 month or 2 months later when I update my Syfe portfolio. Okay, so here is my Diamond Hands portfolio waiting for funds. And then let's get back to the video. Alright, welcome back. So I hope that you have learned something of how to select your own ETFs to make up your own Syfe Select custom portfolio. And this is how I would do it, right? 33% in each of the ETFs that I mentioned, CSPX, QQQ, and VWRA. Of course, this is just my own selection based on what my personal preference is. So you should decide your own strategy or what works for you, and not take this as financial advice. And definitely remember to use my referral code HONEYMONEY, put it in the promo code box when you sign up for Syfe to get your first $30,000 managed for free in the Syfe for 3 months. And with all that said, I hope you have gained value and help to click the like button at the bottom of this page, and remember to subscribe to my channel if you haven't. It just takes 1 second of your time, and remember to join our Telegram community group to discuss more about these topics. My name is Christopher, this is Honey Money SG, steering young adults to financial independence.